Anyway, we are here to talk about Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. And we were talking about the fatigue index selection um, at the end of the last pod on Monday. You mentioned Curtis Jones as the biggest one of the biggest risks along with Trent. Again, another fatigue indexy informed selection, yes?
Yeah, the acute. Yeah, it's using the acute chronic workload relationship that they. It was very obvious. Mac was borderline, but CJ was 50% over.
Yeah.
And CJ is very breakable. Historically, Trent is less breakable, but has a history of doing it recently. But he has been taking him off, and there was no alternative for Trent, but there was an alternative for Curtis.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
He went with that.
Would you say that would you say that the Trent starting was a risk, and we did gamble with that?
Yeah, there are always risks. Yeah.
But the big news, I guess, in selection, wasn't ours; it was Newcastle's.
I wonder how much that totally transformed the game because looking back, I think Newcastle were fairly wet from the outset, and I wonder the psychology of that happening. And did either of you see the Eddie Howe interview before the game? When they asked him, like, is Isaac out and how good is he, and how long is he going to be out for? Did you see that?
No,
I saw post, but not.
I saw slot pre-game, but not how.
Seeing many coaches firsthand with the relationship, the response, the emotional response of that question was. I don't want to be too pejorative in this. It was. He didn't know quite that even that morning that he was going to be out, but it's a bit too sore for him to risk this game, but might be okay for training tomorrow, kind of thing. And as a manager of Newcastle against Liverpool, what do you think that makes him feel about that player? I might be okay for training tomorrow, but
he doesn't fancy it.
Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind.
And do we know if he was in training today?
I have no idea if he's in training today, but either way, he is not out long term. He is. The same thing happened with Haaland. Like Haaland played Haaland played 2.5 days later. If you can play 2.5 days later, you could have played 2 days ago.
Could I just put it out there that this is again yet more examples of Hamza running the anti-Arsenal conspiracy? There's not just the refs; they got the clubs bought in where they have to rest their best strikers for spurious reasons against Liverpool. So this was Hamza's memo. You got to Pep and to
just to boil Arsenal piss.
You got to pretend that Haaland's injured. You got to pretend that Isaac's got a knock. Yeah, just to boil Arsenal fans' piss. And long may it continue, say. That's not what I say. Anyway, so yes, we ended up playing Newcastle without Alexander Isak. Kind of what did they do? Sort of Anthony Gordon ended up kind of playing in the middle, Jacob Murphy off the right, and then they ended up with an extra midfielder. Oh no, Callum Wilson. Sorry,
no, they didn't change anything. They just brought in Wilson for Isak. So okay. It wasn't such a big deal. It was Wilson for Isak, and the big thing for them is that Joelinton's out and Willock, who at one point was their record signing. He's a very, very good player. He's just always injured, and he was playing in his position. There's the way Sky were talking or TNT or whatever that he was a 6 and Bruno was going to play further forward, but he's not. He's an attacking midfielder. He was like all goals and assists as a kid. But he's uber athletic, uber fast, skillful, and they had no reason from their team selection to not play well. They got very good players playing each of their positions, doing each of their things, their appropriate things on the pitch, and they should have been fairly fresh. They just missed their best player, or their best player not called Bruno.
Yeah, that's fair. But we'll come on to the stats pack in a minute. But Anthony Gordon was very much central, right? In all the data viz, yes.
Yeah, he's picking up. I was just when you said that, I thought I'd just look at the price maps again.
Yeah.
He is.
So he was almost like
than...
on the networks. It was behind, almost like try to be behind Wilson with Willock in the kind of wider area, wasn't he?
Yeah, but that's only on ball.
Yeah.
Off ball. Where's the zones? No, off ball. He's down the middle as well.
That is so weird because I have 28 touches in the left-hand zone.
Yeah,
it's just 45. I have 28, and he's down the left-hand side. He's on the left-hand channel for 28. There's 45 touches.
I was going to ask you about this part. So the only rationale I can think of was it to buzz around Grav and to get because he's really rapid. He's really Gordon. He's really quick off the mark. Is it just to harass Grav rather than because his on the ball style doesn't really suit playing in a 10 to me. He's not creative for us, is he?
No, I think it might have been. They might have since. I don't know how Eddie's thinking goes, but Grab didn't have a great game at St James's. Maybe they thought put pressure on Grab again, and it's ideal to have a rapid player in there to then go at. And if you occupy Trent with another player, you get Gordon one-on-one with Canate or PVD. I mean, it's not the greatest idea, but maybe that's what he was thinking. Who was down the right? I'm just trying to work out who was down the right.
It was Murphy, Jacob Murphy. He was in the same position as normal.
Right. Okay. So it's the left-hand side. So
he's actually been one of the Premier League's big overachievers this season, Murphy. For someone who would normally be described as a journeyman, I think would be.
Yeah. I think Joel Linton is a big player for them in the middle three, isn't he, normally? So I think that probably didn't help them in terms of physicality. But it is strange that he's popped up there. But
So anyway, before we digress any more into game plans and tactics and stuff, let's go through that top level stats analysis, Bart. And I just want to know. I thought we were fantastic. I thought it was an absolutely electric performance by us. Maybe didn't get as much, especially in the first half, as much, posted in terms of the threat and the numbers, maybe as we should have. And do you think that the stats pack reflects how good a performance it was from us?
It's a good question. 60-40 possession, which is very good. I mean, it's kind of we do that a lot at home. We have Phil Till at 55-45. Again, that's on average for us. Outshot them 12-3. So that goes along your dominance of how we were. 3 shots on target in there, 0, which is why PPDO calculations don't work because there's no shots on target for the position. You've got pinner box shots of 9-2. So that's a fairly dominant to get in there. Pinner box touches 32-18. So it's double theirs pretty much. XG 1.7 to 0.22, which I would say is fairly dominant to keep that down to an incredibly low amount.
Definitely.
I mean, definitely. The other key one as well is obviously it didn't have a shot on target, but they therefore didn't record any post shot. So for a team like Newcastle who've been flying to not have anything registered is quite weird. Quite an anomaly, which gives you an indication of how well we played, probably. Threat, we about just over 2 for us and 1 for them. So therefore we converted at 80% and we kept them below 20. So defensively, I would say it's a very good performance. I'm just looking for anything else that picks out. The halves are fairly standard, slightly less possession second half. Field till slightly more even, but everything else is kind of similar.
The threat conversion rate to XG, we were at 81, and I wonder whether that kind of reflects the number of times that we had really dangerous situations in transitional situations, and then the through ball. We block our own through ball coming off the player's heels. I must have happened 4 times where we had tremendous moves. Yeah.
It's just a little bit off, where it's just not quite rolled the right way. But yeah, I thought we set up in very good areas. Just to finish up in terms of Monte Carlo's, 1-0 or 2-0, equally split as being the most probable score, and we win the game 78%. So yeah, I would say that's dominant. I think there were periods of the game where I thought Newcastle. So the kind of Wilson chance on 1-0 to us is a pretty pivotal moment in the game. I know he didn't get it on target, he misses, but that's literally 5 minutes after we've gone 1-0 up. That's a very, if that goes in, and I know that goals change games, but that literally changed the outlook. Because from that point onwards, if you look at the XG, they hardly do anything. They have a couple of long ranges and that's it. They don't have it. That's their best opportunity of the game, and they miss it. And then we sort of say, right, well, no more of that, thank you very much, and shut up a little bit, put some more pressure on to go and try and get another one before half time, and then come out second half, and they don't record any XG in the second half. Sorry, a little bit after half time, but from about 50 minutes onwards, they don't record any XG. So yeah, it's that seemed to be a fairly important moment that we largely got away with.
Threads, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts and even Liverpool legends along the way, with the great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at AnfieldIndexPro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that, from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.